Gopi Talav, about halfway to Bet Dwaraka, and 5 kilometers off the main road is Gopi Talav, the pond where Kanhaiya met with the gopis, his cowherd girlfriends from Vrindavan. This sacred spot is the source of Gopi Chandan, a clay that Kanhaiya's devotees use to decorate their foreheads. When Krishna came to Dwaraka, the gopis of Vrindavan were very confused, because although in Vrindavan they were always getting some information, some message from Mathura of what Krishna was doing and how he was doing, that was a solace for their life. Not only him, but the whole dynasty of the Yadavas and the Vrishnis, without saying anything to anyone, they left Mathura and came to Dwarka. So Krishna, as super soul in everyone's heart, could understand the feeling of the gopis. Gopi Talav is a very auspicious and holy place. It is described in the Garga Samhita and the Skanda Purana by Prahlad Maharaj, as well as in the Padma Purana, the glories of this particular holy place. Krishna was feeling that the gopis were so disoriented since he left Mathura, and he was also feeling such a longing in his heart to be reunited to meet the gopis. So he sent Uddhav along with Yogamaya to Vrindavan. While the gopis were sleeping at night, he had them transferred to a beautiful palace which was just so close to this place. And when they woke up in the palace, it was dark, and the gopis had never lived in a palace before. They were simple cowherd girls. They did not know where they were, and they were looking everywhere for a door to get out. But they could not find the dwar. So they started calling out, "Dwar kahan? Dwar kahan? Where is the door? Where is the door?" So that is how this place attained the name Dwaraka. It was named by the gopis. At last, Krishna appeared to them and brought them to this area where there was a beautiful kund that was made by Maidanav. The gopis were so happy at seeing the beauty of this kund. The gopis said that we want a special kund better than this just for you. At that time, by Krishna's divine arrangement, this kund was made. Then Krishna and the gopis entered into this kund, and they began bathing together. They had many wonderful water sports, splashing on one another water, and playing so many pleasurable and wonderful Lilas in the water together. It is described that the gopis decided that they wanted to bathe Krishna personally while he was in the waters. Previously, Brahma had put Gopi Chandan on Krishna, which was permanent, and when the gopis bathed him, that Gopi Chandan came out and it fell into the waters and sunk into the bottom. And since then, it is said that the Chandan of this lake in its raw, natural form is decorated with a chakra, the disc, Gada, the club, Kamal, the lotus, and Shankha, the conch shell. And when we go inside, the Pandits will show us the raw Gopi Chandan there. When we split it open directly from here and unmixed, we'll find that these signs of Vishnu are in each piece of the Gopi Chandan. So for many days, Krishna and the gopis had wonderful pastimes here, and in the evenings they would have the Ras Lila on the banks of this Gopi Talav. Some people say that after Krishna left the planet, the gopis came here to drown themselves. But there is no Shastric evidence for this. This is a common story that people usually tell. But according to the Shastra, After Krishna killed Dantavakra in Mathura, at that time he came into Vrindavan. This is right after the battle of Kurukshetra. And at that time he brought all of the residents of Vrindavan directly back to Golok Vrindavan. But this is a very special holy place because this is a place where the gopis and Krishna met to bathe in this beautiful lake. This is the only place in the entire world from where Gopi Chandan comes from. Srila Prabhupada explains all bona fide Gopi Chandan must come from this lake alone. People from Mathura and Varanasi, they come here, they bring buckets and buckets and buckets, they fill them up and then they take them back with them. They dry the chandan and mix it with other mud and then they sell it as Gopi Chandan. It is explained in the Puranas and the Skanda Purans, the glories of Gopi Chandan, that the mud from this lake where Krishna and the gopis had their wonderful water leelas, and that by placing this mud of this lake upon one's body, it is as good as taking bath in the Ganges. It is as good as going to many, many holy places of pilgrimage. There's also a beautiful deity of Gopinath in the temple there. At the time of Krishna Lila in Dwaraka, Devaki approached Krishna one day and said, "Although I gave you birth as mother, I never had the wonderful fortune of seeing your Bal Lila, because you came here when you were about 12 years old, and Mother Yashoda had the good fortune of seeing you and raising you. I want to see that beautiful form of yours as a little child stealing butter." So Krishna became a little child and he had a stick which is used for churning the butter. And he was holding the rope which is used to frill that stick. Devaki was so happy to see that form. And Rukmini happened to see that form of Bal Gopal of Vrindavan. So she approached Krishna and she said that, "Please, I want to worship you in that form. I have not seen such a beautiful form, and all attractive form such as that." So Krishna manifested himself as a murti of Bal Gopal, and Rukmini worshipped that deity in the most private, confidential temple of her palace. After Sri Krishna left this world, that murti of Krishna came into this kund, and for many, many long thousands of years it was under this water and it went into the mud. There was a great ship merchant who was bringing goods from Dwaraka to southern parts of India. And in order to make his ship balance, he took large blocks of Gopi Chandan. And from this kund, he placed it onto his ship, just so that the balance of the ship is maintained. Now this is about 700 years ago. When he was going by Udupi, Madhavacharya was sitting on the banks of the ocean. He was doing meditation on Krishna. And suddenly there was a storm. And while the storm was there, the boat was about to sink. The captain of the boat there, he saw Madhavacharya, he saw a sadhu there, and he begged him for some blessings to save him and to save the ship. And Madhava took his chadar and waved it in such a way that the storm just vanished. And then the ship, it came to the shore, to the beach. The captain said, "You have saved my entire fortune, and you have saved my life. I will give you anything you want, anything at all, or even all of it, if you like." So Madhavacharya asked, "Where are you coming from?" And the merchant said, "I'm coming from Dwaraka." "Oh, Dwaraka, that is the only place from where we get Gopi Chandan. Do you have any Gopi Chandan with you?" He said, "Yes, I have 2 big blocks of it. So, give me that Gopi Chandan." So the merchant, he brought out the 2 big blocks of Chandan and he gave it to Madhavacharya and cracked them open. And in one there was deity of Udupi Krishna, and in the other there was deity of Balram. The deity of Balram is installed just near the ocean, and the deity of Udupi Krishna is one of the most famous deities in all of the world, brought by Madhavacharya. Nobody could lift that deity. So many men, they were trying to lift it, but they couldn't lift it. And Madhavacharya easily put it on his shoulders and he walked into the town, and that town is the present day Udupi. The gopis having nice water sports every day, bathing together and dancing together and singing together. They were here and then they were sent back to Vrindavan. We know that the gopis there were 24 hours a day united with Krishna. And in this way, the Raj gopis taught us that we are never separated from Krishna as long as we remember him. Lord Chaitanya, who is Srimati Radharani, the queen of all gopis, came to this world to teach us the sublime process of always remembering Krishna and chanting his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.